Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse 1 here. Today is August 6th. It is Sunday, and it is, well, we got some clouds. Not horrible today, but last night, I gotta tell you, it was freaking cold. Holy crap. This is still supposed to be summer, and it got down to like 48 last night, so it was kind of chilly. Unreal. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Not ready for cold weather yet, but it'll be here before we know it. So anyway, I wanted to do a video today, and I was, with everything that was going on with North Korea and stuff like that, and all the saber rattling that's happening and everything like that, and I just kind of wanted to touch on the subject. And there's not a lot been going on, except for North Korea keeps doing these missile tests and stuff like that. So here's the thing, and this is obviously my thoughts on this subject. Everybody has their own right to their own opinion. There is a lot of games going on, and China pulls North Korea's strings, okay? And it's probably not in their best interest to have us go in there and stomp the crap out of North Korea, which we could do in a heartbeat if we wanted to, okay? But see, the thing is, that is not profitable, okay? Fear-mongering, you're going to talk about fear-mongering, that's what's going on. They want to keep people scared. Korea could now hit New York City with a missile and stuff like that. We would probably shoot that out of the air long before it ever got there, number one. And the thing is, let's just say an offhand chance that North Korea launched a missile, and let's say it hit on the West Coast someplace, and let's say it hit Los Angeles. We're just going to use that as an example. We would turn them into a parking lot, okay? And the world would not do anything about it, especially if they launched first and did that. We would go in there and we would tactically wipe them out, realistically. I mean, so I really don't see any nuclear things happening. Okay, there's a lot of fear stuff going on, and they're trying to scare people and stuff like that, and that's going to happen, okay? But I really don't see an all-out war with North Korea. We've already been there. We've already done it back in the 50s, okay? And isn't it amazing? And this is so interesting. I mean, I want you guys to think about this, okay? Here we had this little pissant country, and we had gone over there, and we were driving in, and then China stepped in, okay? And now we have North Korea and we have South Korea. And so we have the demilitarized zone, which, guess what? Who mans that all the time? Oh yeah, that's right, we do. Okay, which costs our country all kinds of money every year. War is profitable, guys. You got to think about that, okay? And remember this too, the senators' sons and the senators' daughters, and the congressmen's sons and the congressmen's daughters and the president's son, those aren't the ones off going to war, okay? It is our sons and daughters. It is small town middle America. That's who goes to war, okay? The inner city kids, those are the ones that go to war because they don't care about us, all right? That's just the reality of it. I wonder what kind of world it would be if, as citizens, we'd said, you know what, enough is enough. We're not going to fight your wars anymore, and we just wouldn't do it. That'd be an interesting concept. I believe that we need to be able to protect our country, okay? But the thing is, the fact that we are the policemen of the world and we spend more money on our military, I can't remember the exact number, but I think it's like the next 30 countries combined spend on theirs. So we spend more for our military than, I believe it's the next 30. And if I'm wrong on that, please let me know. But I know it's a big number, okay? Which includes Russia and China, those ones that we're supposed to be all afraid of. To tell you the truth, the country that actually makes me nervous, if you will, would be China. They have 1.2 billion people over there. We have like 330 million. So if China decided they wanted to go to war with us, just in sheer numbers, they could, do that. But see, the thing is, China's not going to go to war with us, I don't believe, because they already own so much of the United States anyway. We owe them so much money in debt that it's ridiculous. I mean, it's all games, guys. I mean, it's like if we really sat down and looked at it and realized what the games were, people would have a different concept of that. So I really don't think, you know, all basically what it is North Korea is trying to go on a negotiation level of, okay, you know, what do we get out of this, you know? And like I said, in the back door, China is the one that controls North Korea. I mean, it's a little pissant country, realistically. All right, let's go back to Vietnam. I mean, that's not so long in the distant past, you know. We never won that war. We were over there forever and ever and ever. And before us, the French were in there forever. Okay, you know, they don't want to win those wars because as soon as we go in there and we do what we're capable of doing and unleash hell on these people, okay, the war would be over in 10 days. Okay, but we can't have that because you know, your big, huge military, you know, companies are not making any money. Oh, and look who's coming, guys. Just so you know, there she is. There's the boss. What's up, Saxy? Yeah. So anyway, I mean, this is my opinion, and tell me, I want to know what your guys' thoughts are, okay? I mean, it's like, they do a lot of, here's the thing too, what you got to understand, in the media, we are manipulated with the media. We are fed what they want us to know, okay? We're not getting all the facts. We're never going to be given all the truth. They're giving us what we're fed to, you know, further their agenda for what they want to do. You got to understand that the media and the newspapers, I think, are controlled, and again, quote me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's like 6 companies control like most, I think it's like 80-something% or higher of the media and the newspapers. You know, that's crazy. That, you know, so basically we're spoon-fed what they want us to hear. We're watching the TV, and we're inundated with crap all day long. I mean, it's amazing to me. I grew up as a kid. We had 8, 10, and 13, and we had Channel 21, okay? And then when Channel 31 came on, it was like, oh my God, wow, a new channel with different thoughts and different ideas. And now you got 300 channels of crap. You know, it's absolutely crazy. It's one of the reasons why I got rid of my TV when we moved down here, you know, a couple years ago, just because it's just so full of crap all the time. And I got tired of paying an exorbitant amount of money for crap. So anyway, so that was, you know, but that's going on a whole different thing. But anyway, we're fed what they want us to see, okay? We're never going to get the whole truth. We really don't know a lot of times what's going on. I mean, let's go back to the weapons of mass destruction that supposedly Saddam Hussein had. But see, people seem to forget when they were fighting Iran, who did we back? Did we not help Saddam Hussein then? Yes, we did, okay? We poured money into there because we wanted them to go over there and fight each other. And so we basically helped get him to where he was at, you know. There's a lot of stuff going on that's not taught to people, that people don't realize, that they don't see. And so it's just, do I think that there's an imminent war coming to happen? It's going to happen immediately, soon? Oh my God, we're going to be at war with North Korea? I don't think so. I really don't. Because it's not in the best interest of everybody, okay? Unless they decide they want to do some kind of small scale thing that is agreed upon ahead of time by the powers that be. And when I say the powers that be, I'm talking, you know, China and the United States are going to sit down and say, okay, well, listen, we're going to do this, you know, but we're only going to go so far, and all that kind of nonsense. But in the meantime, young men and women are going to die. Young men and women in South Korea are going to die. North Korea, they're going to die. Americans would die. You know, it's a waste. It's a complete waste. You know, we've been at war. You know, we went in there and we kicked butt in Iraq, and then we were still there, and we're still there now. You know, and we're fighting forever. Since my children have been alive, we've been at war. My guys will be 16 years old this year, okay? And we have never not been at war since they have been alive. That's ridiculous. I mean, that is absolutely ridiculous. And for what little pissant countries, you know, you're talking about Iraq, and you're talking about Afghanistan, and, you know, it's like, if we really truly wanted to win in those places, it could be over in a heartbeat. And let's be realistic of why we're in Iraq. We're not over there to help free the people from the tyrants and all this type of stuff. We're there for oil, guys, okay? We're there for oil. And the thing is, in the whole situation with Afghanistan, and I know some people have said, oh, no, it's not true, but, you know, the Taliban came in there and they stopped the production of the poppy fields. And if you don't believe me, that's fine. I don't care. But that's what that's all about over there. Controlling the drugs, because they want to keep us dumbed down in this country. So all you guys out there that are sitting around and shooting up your heroin and doing all your prescription medications and doing your crack and your meth, you're doing exactly what the government wants you to do. You're doing exactly what they want you to do. No matter how much you sit around and piss and moan and complain about the government, when you're whacked out on all those drugs, that's what they want. They want you to be that slave. So congratulations, you are, okay? I'm on a bit of a rant today, guys, and I apologize, but it's just something that I think about. And like I said, you can disagree with me. Here's the beauty of this, guys, okay? You may not agree with everything that I say, and not everybody's going to. And I don't expect you to. I would hope that you would have your own opinions, okay? I'm always willing to have a good debate. Always willing to have a good debate. But the thing is, it's like, you know, when people get all bent out of shape or butthurt because I say something, and then they're like, well, you need to apologize. Here's the thing. Let me explain real quick, okay? This is my channel. This is my opinions. If you don't like it, then you are free to go and watch somebody else. That's fine, you know. I don't try to do a lot of fear-mongering. I just try to say it like it is. And I try to explain to people, you know, you need to open up, you need to look at history, you need to see what's gone on and see what continues to go on in the manipulation that these people use on us. And when I say that these people, I'm talking the powers that be. And it's not necessarily the government, it's the people that pull the strings behind the shadows. You know, your big corporations run this country, guys. Your pharmaceutical companies, your insurance companies, you know, think about all the ways that they're like in our pocket today. And it's absolutely insane. If our forefathers were alive right now, they would be rising up and they would be doing something about it. They really would, because if you go back and look at history, the reason that we decided to get away from Great Britain was because they kept wanting to tax the crap out of us all the time. And I think the breaking point was a 3% tax on tea that was imported. Now everybody knows what the Boston Tea Party is. At least I hope you do, because hopefully they're still teaching that in school. And if they're not, look it up. You know, that's what really got the ball rolling with war with Great Britain way back in the day, okay? And isn't it ironic that now Great Britain's our ally? So, you know, look it. We went over there, we fought Germany, and now Germany's our ally. So it's insane. I mean, it really, really, truly is. But if we all as people, as a human race, decided, hey, you know what, this is nonsense and we're not going to do this anymore, then who would they have to fight their wars? If we didn't get on the bandwagon and say, yeah, we'll go do that because we're patriotic and we're going to rah, rah, rah for our country, you know, it's not about that. All you're doing is helping the big machine keep raking in that money. And, you know, I'm going to tell you what, all I want as a human being is my little piece of the pie. I want to have my little property, do what I want to do here, and have as much freedom as I possibly can have, you know. That's all I want. And I think that most people, that's what they want too. They want to have that wife and kids, and, you know, and just be happy, and try to live a good life, and try to make a little bit of money, and, you know, and have something at the end of the day. And the, you know, with the police state basically that we've become, you know, the police are not there to protect and serve anymore. You know, they're there to collect revenue. You know, they're there to give those tickets out. I mean, I took care of a state trooper's daughter way back. And she's grown now. She actually did well. She lived, which was great. But and he told me back then when he was on road patrol, he said, Ed, listen, he said, when they tell you that there's not a quota, he goes, if you're not writing enough tickets, they'll let you know. So you got to write a certain amount of tickets every month, because that's revenue for the state. You know, it justifies their job. So it's crazy, you know. I mean, it really truly is. And I'm going to tell you what. Now, I've been pulled over, guys, and I've dealt with some awesome police officers that were really cool, and you know, cut me a break when, like, there was one time I definitely shouldn't have gotten a break, but they cut me a break, you know, because I told them what happened. I was honest with them. You know, I was actually on my way to work, so I was in uniform. So, you know, those things all go into it. So anyway, I hear somebody's on a four-wheeler. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and jump off of here, guys. And please let me know what your thoughts are on this video. Like, comment, share. You know, if you like what we're doing, hit the little icon button in the video and subscribe to us. You know, that's what it's all about. So I hope everybody's had a great weekend. Most important thing, guys, remember, hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day, because we never know how long we're going to have. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. It doesn't necessarily mean we're going to be here tomorrow. And every day is precious. It really, truly is. And remember, STD, guys, one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever your goals are, whatever you're trying to reach, you can get there as long as you're willing to work at it, okay? And I will talk to you all tomorrow. I hope everybody has a great day. I hope you enjoy your Sunday. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.